Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I am going to be showing you guys how to get a salon quality blowout from your own house. I'm going to be using the Revlon one-step hair dryer. So if you're interested to see how I created this beautiful blowout, then stay tuned and keep on watching. Okay, so today we're going to be using the Revlon one-step hair dryer. And I really like this tool because it's super user-friendly. I like the shape of the brush as well because it's kind of in between a flat brush and a round brush, and it does have like the vents in between that help the air flow through and get every strand of hair. And I like the bristles that it has. Not only these ones right here, but it has other smaller bristles in between that help create tension, and tension creates smooth results. Those are just some of the features that I really like of this brush. It does have a cool low and high setting, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So this is typically how I start off with this little towel on. So this little head wrap is actually a microfibrial towel head wrap. I put this on right after I get out of the shower. So typically I'll get out of the shower and the first thing that I'll do is I'll grab this little towel and I will kind of squeeze out some of the moisture from my hair. And the reasons that I like using this type of towel is because it's going to help absorb more water. It's going to be more gentle on your hair, and it causes less friction on your hair, so it's not going to create a bunch of frizz. Whereas if you use a regular towel, it could actually cause a lot of damage to your hair because it creates a lot of friction. So even with this towel, it's a lot safer and gentler on your hair, but you still just want to kind of squeeze the moisture out of your hair as much as you can rather than just going in. This is super inexpensive. I believe I got this one at Target, but I'll link, if I could find this one, I'll link it below, but if not, I'll link similar ones. So let's say I just freshly got out of the shower. The first thing that I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll spray this in my hair. So this is the Pravana Nevo Intense Therapy Leave-In Treatment, and I've been using this for maybe about a year now, and I really like this. It's a really great overall product. It does a lot. It detangles, it hydrates, it evens out the porosity of your hair. It's a heat protectant. It helps repair split ends. It protects your hair color. It's gonna add shine. And this is also great since like summer's coming up and a lot of people are gonna be swimming. You could spray this in your hair before you get into the pool. Just make sure it's really soaked, and it's gonna help lessen the effects of chlorine as well. So this is just a really great product. So I'll spray this in my hair and then I'll go ahead and brush it through. This is just a Framar brush. It's very similar to a wet brush. I'll brush the product through and then I'll go ahead and put on my towel and I'll just let it sit just until I'm ready to blow dry, or like while I do my makeup. I like my hair to be more damp when I'm gonna go in and blow dry it. You can definitely do this right when you get out of the shower. But the less moisture in your hair, the better. That way you don't have to use the heat on your hair for as long, and that way it won't take as long too. Because if you are soaking wet and you go into blow dry, it's going to take you a lot longer. So if you're going to get out of the shower and do this, I suggest going in with your towel, your microfibrial towel, and squeezing out as much of that moisture as you can before going in and blow drying, because it's going to take you a lot longer if you don't squeeze that excess moisture out. So like I said, this has already been in my hair for a while. So the next step that I would do is put some more product in my hair. I'm going to go in with an oil. So I have two different oils here, and the reason that I'm going to talk about the two different oils is because one of them is a little bit harder to find. So the first one that I'm going to be talking about is the Brazilian Blowout Dry Oil. This is really great because it's really lightweight, but it's going to help strengthen and reconstruct your hair. This is also going to smooth out your hair. It's going to add shine. It's going to help reduce drying time, and it's also going to help with any frizz in your hair. If you can't find this oil, or if you can't find like a hairstylist that sells this oil in your area, would be the Awapui Styling Treatment Oil. This is also great. It's lightweight as well. It helps smooth frizz and it helps add shine and hydrates the hair as well. This is also a really great product, but I just know that the Brazilian Blowout one is a little bit harder to find. This one will be easier for you to find. So now I'm gonna go in with my dry oil. For my hair, I'm gonna use about 2 pumps. I'm gonna work it through my hands. And then I'm gonna go in and start from my ends. Focus most of that product on my ends. And work my way up. You never wanna start at the top of your head, especially when you're using any cream, liquid, oils, anything like that, because if I were to start and just put that oil right on here, it's gonna weigh your hair down and it's gonna make your hair look really greasy. So I'm gonna work that through, and then I'm gonna go in with my brush and just brush it through. All right, so the next product that I would recommend is using some type of styling cream in your hair. This one is great if you have more fine to medium hair because it's very lightweight. So it's the Olaplex number 6. This is an amazing product. So this is a leave-in cream, but it's gonna help strengthen and hydrate your hair. It's gonna moisturize your hair. It's gonna help speed up the blow drying time. It's gonna eliminate frizz, and it's gonna protect your hair from any heat styling. This is like one of my favorite products ever. If you have, like I said, really thick, coarse, very frizzy hair, then I would recommend this for you. This one is the Brazilian Blowout Thermal Straightening Balm. This is going to smooth and seal your split ends. It's going to help tame frizz. It's going to add shine. It's going to protect from the heat. It's humidity resistant. Which is why it's so great for frizz. It's gonna help strengthen damaged hair. So like I said, this is gonna be great for thicker, very coarse, frizzy hair. It is a very heavy product, so you wanna use the smallest amount, like a dime size to a nickel size, just depending on how much hair you have. And it's a very thick product, so typically I recommend to mix this in with your oil and work them through your hair together. I do have thicker hair, and I can use that one, but like I said, this is like my favorite product ever, so I'm gonna use this one. So I'm just gonna use about that much. Put it through my hands, and I'm gonna work it through the same way I did with the oil. If your hair is not super frizzy, then you can start in the back. If you get really frizzy, especially if you get really frizzy around your hairline, then I would recommend to start in your hairline, but I like to start from the back. Another tip is, if it's easier for you to start from the back, then go ahead and start from the back, and if you find that this gets frizzy, then you can always spray in a little bit of water or your leave-in spray on the hairline just to calm down that frizz again, and then go in with the blow dryer. But I'm gonna start at the back. So this is my section size. And your section size is really just going to depend on your hair. If you have a lot of hair, then you're gonna wanna take smaller sections. If you have really fine hair, you don't have as much hair, then you can definitely take bigger sections. If you have shorter hair than I do, then I would recommend just going in and kind of flat wrapping your hair with this. But if you have like my length or longer hair, then I would recommend definitely just going in like this. Also, we're gonna talk about the heat on this now. So it has a cool, a low, and a high setting on it. If you have finer hair, then I would start off with the low setting. If you have really thick, coarse, frizzy hair, then definitely do the high setting, but be careful because it does get pretty hot. If you're not sure what to use on your hair, then I would say to start off with the low setting, and if you feel like that's not doing enough for you, then definitely move on to the high setting. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and do the high setting since I've used this before. I have a heat protectant in my hair. I have good products in my hair. My hair is fairly healthy, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the higher setting. And so like I said, you're just gonna go in like this, and you're never gonna leave it just kind of sitting there, because that's how you're gonna burn yourself. You're just gonna constantly be turning it, and then you can kind of check in between, see if it's dry. If not, you can just keep going. And so this just naturally gives it a lot of volume. And so with me, I don't want that much volume back here. So what I'll go in after everything is nice and dry, I'll go in and just go in flat with it. That way it kind of reduces some of that volume back there, because that's not where I want my volume. Super fast, and it just leaves your hair really smooth and it looks super shiny. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that on this side as well. I'm gonna go ahead and take my next section. Okay, so right here, this is where I kind of want to start seeing some volume. So what I like to do is I'll go in like normal, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to over direct it forward and up. When you over direct, you're pushing the hair out of where it normally lays, so it's going to give you volume. But I'm going to still just be constantly moving it through the hair. And I'm being very careful right here, because remember how I said the high setting gets really hot, so you want to be careful, especially around your ear, because if not, you'll burn your ear. And then I'm just going to repeat that process all around. If you have a lot of frizz and need more tension, or even if you want like a lot smoother effect, then what you can also do is you can go in this way from the top and smooth your hair down. Just be careful with this, because it does get pretty hot. So I'll do that motion again. You'll go in this way and smooth your hair down. I like to leave a little mohawk section up here, and the reason for that is because this is where I want to see the most volume on top. So everything in this mohawk section is going to be blow dried and over directed forward. That way it gives you more volume up here. So I'm going to leave this section up and finish blow drying the rest. Now we're at this very top section, so I'm going to take a section, and then this top section I'm going to take about 3 subsections from it. So I'm going to take one in the back, and that's where I'm going to start. And then with this section, like I said, we're going to direct it forward. That way you get a lot of volume. You're going to bring it forward, and you're going to just keep kind of rolling it and looping it through. And then you can go in with the cool shot setting to make sure it kind of holds in that volume after it's nice and dry. And also doing like that mohawk section right here is going to prevent your hair from having like any splits. So then I'm going to take my next section and do the exact same thing. I'm going to over direct it forward. Okay, I know I said I was going to take 3 subsections, but I'm actually going to take 4. So this will be my 3rd section. I'm going to do the exact same thing, and then we'll do our very last section right here. Alright, and now we're going to do our very last section, and in this very last section I like to take a little bit from the sides and the front. This front section is the most important section because this is what's going to frame the rest of your face, so you want to make sure you're really over directing that, really getting in there and putting in some tension, and make sure you go in with that cool shot to really set it, because this is what's going to frame your face. Alright, and I just like to let it fall back like that. And then the cool thing too about doing that little mohawk section and taking those little sections from the front is that it's not going to create those lines like I said, so you're going to be able to part it wherever you want. So if you want to part it down the middle, then you can go ahead and part it down the middle and see just like how much volume that gives, or you can part it to the side, the other side, and it's just volume wherever you part it. So I like to part my hair down the middle, so that's where I'm going to part it. Alright guys, so this is the final look using the Revlon One Step Hair Dryer. So yeah, it just gives you a very beautiful blowout, very similar to one that you would get at the salon, and you can do it yourself from your house. I know that there's not really anywhere to go right now while we are stuck at home, but it's just like a nice little thing to do for yourself when you're not feeling that great. And right now is the perfect time to learn how to do it. That way, once we are able to go back to normal, you can have this little tool handy for whenever you have any events and you can't maybe get into the salon or don't have the time to go to the salon, or just get stuck in those like last minute situations. Yeah, you'll be able to use this product. It's really great. I highly recommend it. It's affordable, it's user friendly, and I just can't say enough good things about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you have any suggestions as well for any other videos that you'd like to see, also leave those down below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time, and I hope you're staying safe. Yeah, bye guys.